Hi, welcome to the Nonprofit Podcast, home of all things inspiring, informative, and just plain interesting across the nonprofit space. I'm Kara Augsperger, fundraising coach at Donorbox. In my career, I've worn many hats across different nonprofit roles, and the best part is that I have been blessed to meet people who make change happen, both big and small, because they have the vision, the passion, and absolute belief in the value of their mission. But let me tell you, this meeting with Marlene Maina, founder and chair of Atlanta-based JosiahKids, has been one of the most moving. Today, Marlene shares with Heidi Bianco how her childhood experience of loss led to the establishment of JosiahKids. She'll tell us more about the development of their preventative approach to interventions and how they are raising the next generation of service-minded leaders.
Welcome. I am Heidi Bianco, and this nonprofit spotlight moment is brought to you by Donorbox. I am honored to introduce you to Marlene Maina of JosiahKids in Atlanta, Georgia. Marlene, welcome.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
And we are thrilled to have you. Marlene, would you please tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind JosiahKids?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So what inspired JosiahKids and us founding this was really my own story, Heidi. I grew up in a fantastic family, and I had the most amazing father and mother, and we were in a pretty stable environment. My dad had beat a lot of odds to get to where he was, and he gave us a good life. So he had studied abroad, and he had become a senior lecturer at his university, and he was doing great things. So we had a great family. But then unfortunately, we went from having everything, I'm talking amazing home, wonderful drivers, all sorts of vacations, to losing everything. We lost everything, including the furniture. We lost it all. And we were shipped off to boarding school, and many times we were forgotten in school. School would close and we'd go days. No one has come to pick us up. So every semester, we literally had no idea where we were going. And that started the brokenness of my childhood. And I looked around me for anyone who would invest in me, my younger sisters, and I just couldn't find that. So there were many times I literally hit rock bottom, wanted to take my own life. And there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of hopelessness haunting me. And I always dreamed that we would have a place, just a place, where we could have a sense of community, a sense of belonging, somebody to invest in us. We didn't get that. And so after working for the Coca-Cola company for about 16 years, I decided it was time for me to go and be that, what I couldn't find for someone else, for a child out there, to give them a sense of community, to help them to overcome challenges, to help educate, empower, and equip young students and teens so that they would always know they had someone in their corner fighting for them. So that's really the inspiration behind JosiahKids.
Wow, Marlene, you are such a strong spirit.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful that you have moved forward to help others.
Yeah.
Now, you touched upon what your program solves for problems. Could you touch a little bit further into that, please?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So the various aspects of our program and the solutions we're trying to bring. And the first one that I like to point out is that most nonprofits are trying to solve a problem that already exists. We are focused on a very preventative approach. So we're trying to take the approach of a preventative mission where we empower and equip our students, help them to learn how to manage time, how to manage money, how to manage relationships, how to develop a spirit of leadership within them, and just building them up that they won't have to, or should they encounter anything that destabilizes their environment, they'll be able to make it through that. So rather than wait until kids are involved or get caught up into costly, risky behaviors, we're here to help equip them, to help elevate your level of thinking. So we bring in a lot of guest speakers, and I'm talking athletes, artists. We have lawyers come through, neurosurgeons. There's so many people. We host law enforcement panel discussions because we really want to bridge the gap for youth, develop a healthy relationship with law enforcement, develop a trust there, help them to feel heard, ask questions. We have grief recovery panel discussions so they know how to process grief when they go through these difficult moments. And then, Heidi, we also focus on community service. So you'll notice that one of our taglines says, raising the next generation of service-minded leaders. So yes, we want you to have a spirit of excellence about you, but we want it to be tied to service. So we want to raise a generation that wants to give back to their communities. So we want you to take the investment you're getting, get really good, but then turn around and invest that back, your success, into your community, into your neighborhood, into your schools, and even into the generation that's coming behind you, right? So there's the leadership aspect, there's the service aspect, there's a spirit of excellence there. And then we have something that we do every year, which I love, and that is our annual youth leadership event. And this annual Youth Leadership Award ceremony, we call it the Beaufort Harvest. It's just named after Beaufort, where JosiahKids was founded here in Georgia. And here we honor the outstanding achievements of young people from all around the globe. So we have 8 different categories. That is servant leadership, innovation, athletics, the performing arts, courage. We honor them for doing good because we don't want to wait until kids are doing bad to be featured on the news. We want to inspire the next generation of leaders so that they see their peers doing amazing things and they're inspired to do the same. So that's really what our program offers, if I can summarize.
That's absolutely amazing. I love that you're focusing on the good.
Yeah.
You're growing the
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And putting the focus away from anything else. Now, what age groups are included in your program?
Great question. So we enroll from age 7 all the way to 18.
Wow.
All the way off to college, yeah.
Meet Quick Donate by Donorbox. With just a few clicks, a donor can repeat a donation whenever they like, without needing to complete another donation form. Quick Donate automatically creates a secure donor account when the user opts in on their first donation checkout, removing barriers to giving on the go, making repeat donations across your campaign simple, heartfelt, and spontaneous. Quick Donate, another great Donorbox feature, helping you help others.
Now, can you share a story about a young person that your program really helped?
Sure. So this particular student was adopted, and she, we recognized her in 2019. She was the JosiahKids Courage Story Honoree of the Year. And when you hear her story, it's so moving. Born in an ambulance at 3 o'clock in the morning, weighing a pound or just somewhere near, a pound and change, and having gone through so many surgeries and so much to get to where she is today. She has overcome so much. And one of the things I love about her story is the family that adopted her is Caucasian. She is African American. And so her parents have said to us over and over, we were looking for something like this for years, but we didn't know what this is an answer to prayer. Because one of the things that they've helped to enlighten me on is as much as adoption is such a beautiful blessing, it begins with loss. So you lose your actual biological family, you lose your culture, your heritage. There's something you're losing, even though you're gaining, right? And so they've highlighted that for us. And they share that trying to reconnect this amazing, she's so bright and she's so pleasant, trying to reconnect her with people that look like her. Everything she goes to is like she's in an environment where she's like so different from everybody, but having an environment where she can come and we are able to invest in her has just absolutely made her light shine so bright. And she loves it. She loves to dance. She loves the music. She loves the program that we offer. She's the community service queen. I mean, leading an initiative in her own neighborhood, collecting canned goods for the homeless and bringing all that to JosiahKids. And we're channeling that through our Duluth co-op, helping the homeless. So I see how she is thriving. But the reason I really like the story is it's not typical. It's not the typical story that you're thinking about when you think of JosiahKids. And one thing the parents keep saying is, everywhere we try to find community for her, it involves competition. So if it's not soccer, it's a competition. Everything is a competition. But at JosiahKids, we have found community, which is what we've been hungry for, is a place for her to have a sense of belonging. And when she comes, she's not coming to compete for anything. She's coming here, she's going to be loved on, she's going to contribute. She feels like she belongs. Her gifts are celebrated. So that makes me feel very good to know that JosiahKids has become an answer for someone else, someone we didn't even think about when we were starting this. So that is my baby, Maya. I love her.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. And the entire world craves community.
True. Whether we can articulate it or not, right? And a child is not always able to articulate that. But we know as adults what it feels like when you have it. We also know what it feels like when you don't have it, right?
Now, Marlene, what are some of the biggest challenges that JosiahKids are facing?
My husband and I started JosiahKids in our dining room. We literally donated our dining room set that was a wedding present from his parents. And we just knew we wanted to do something. We never thought it would grow I thought I would just keep working at Coca-Cola and continue to invest in just a handful of kids because I felt like even if we only did it for a few, it would be worth it. But at the end of that year, we had desks everywhere. We had outgrown the space and we went from 11 students and we've now grown 300% from what we were. So we had to find a space. I was so thankful that a church nearby opened its doors to JosiahKids and they've been hosting us for more than 2 years now, rent free. So if I can just give a big shout out to Influencers Church. They are truly, truly about making a difference. Now we have already maxed that space out, unfortunately. So we're capped. We can't take any more than 40 kids in the space where we are. We have a performing arts program that we're trying to really grow. We have sports on the side that we're trying to grow, but we're not able to implement that because the space limitation. So JosiahKids is at that place where we feel it's so critical for us to get a leader who can run JosiahKids, scale JosiahKids, grow it to its best and highest potential. But that takes, of course, funding. So we're looking for grants and we're applying for, support so that we can take on a full-time executive director to run the program. So it's the space and it's the leader. Those are the two big challenges we're facing right now.
Now, Marlene, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to walk away with today?
It is much easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And I always say, most of us feel like if a child is hurting out there, that's not really our business unless it's a child within my own family. But that's not the truth. Any broken child that's crossing the finish line of childhood into adulthood, unequipped or ill-equipped to make a meaningful life for themselves or to make a meaningful difference is our problem, all of our collective problem. And we don't see it that way most times. But that child who's ill-equipped will either start a family, and that family will be broken, and that brokenness will be perpetuated because we failed to invest in that child because they weren't related to us, or we had no vested interest to invest in them. It is to our benefit as a society, as a community, to invest in every child, regardless of whether we're related to them or not, because our society will continue to be broken as long as broken children continue to cross the finish line of childhood into adulthood broken.
Marlene, thank you so much for your big heart.
Oh, thank you, Heidi.
For your dedication, for making sure that those that need it so much receive the support and the love so that they do not end up being broken adults.
Yes.
Thank you.
What a great way to sum it up, Heidi. I love that. And thank you for taking the time to interview me and talk to me. I appreciate that. You made me so comfortable. I love it.
My pleasure. And a special thank you to Donorbox for sponsoring this nonprofit inspirational moment. At Donorbox, we believe helping you helps others.
I love that. Thank you so much. Donorbox, thank you. Thank you, Heidi.
Wow, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. That resonates with me on every level, as a nonprofit professional, as a human being, as a mother. The events that motivate each of us to be agents of social change will always be a powerful and often personal experience. And sometimes these deliver a profound answer to perennial social issues we just can't seem to conquer. JosiahKids are living proof that prevention is often better than cure. The Nonprofit Podcast is all about keeping the impact of our work front of mind. Staying in touch with on-the-ground results can be challenging, which is why we're here with new, inspiring, informative, and always interesting interviews every Thursday. So follow, rate, and download the Nonprofit Podcast today, and be sure to join us next time. Until next time, stay inspired.
The Nonprofit Podcast, powered by Donorbox, helping you help others.